Hi, this is a brief video just to show you some of the resources that are available through Mastering Anatomy and Physiology that are independent of the homework. So when you log into the class, it is going to look like this. This is the home page for one of our courses. The first resource that's up there are these dynamic study modules over here. Now there are some dynamic study modules that are part of your extra credit. These are not them. If you do these, they don't go into your grade book. You don't get extra credit for it. But it is another opportunity to quiz yourself and interact with the material. So that's one thing that is available to you. Again, if you want to get extra credit for something, you click on the Assignments tab, which I'm not going to do here, just to keep the video brief. What I want to draw your attention to is the study area. So you come over here, you click on Study Area, and then you click on Study Area again, and this pops up. So there are a ton of resources available in this part of mastering. Everything above this line here is chapter dependent, so it says chapter, chapter, chapter. To access these materials, you use the drop-down menu, and let's say, I don't know, you want to read up on the integumentary system. You select that, hit go. Then the chapter guide pops up, as well as chapter quizzes, the chapter practice test, games and activities show up as well. I'm not going to take you through all of them, but you should be aware that they're there, and maybe the first couple weeks of class, when you're not too busy, you can play around and just see what's in here. So that is what is there available sort of chapter by chapter. This stuff I never use, but you can use it if you want to. I wanted to call your attention to a couple of things down here. Probably most importantly is Practice Anatomy Lab. So you click on that to get to Practice Anatomy Lab, and then you click again, and this should show up. So this is going to help you study for lab. And there are two features on here specifically that I want to point out. First is the anatomical models. So you first click on the resource you want, and then you select within that resource which system you want to look at. So let's say we want to look at the integumentary system. Pictures of the models or of anatomical models show up, and you can toggle the labels on and off. This is only just the one model that they have, but I will tell you that we have almost the exact same model in lab. So this will come in very handy, and I'm moving quickly. You'll notice as you scroll over things, they highlight and labels pop up to tell you what they are. None of these little white eccrine sweat glands are showing up, but that's what they are. Those are sweat glands. So the models are there. Some of the models that they have on Practice Anatomy Lab are very much the same, if not the same, as the models that we're going to be using in our lab. So that's one thing just to be aware of. And then there's the histology, which will also come in handy. So again, let's say it's the week we're doing the skin, you click on integumentary system, and photomicrographs or microscopic pictures of the materials will show up. And just like with the models, if you mouse over something, it will highlight it and label it for you, and you can toggle the labels on and off. You can also, if you look up here, quiz yourself, or, whoops, exit the quiz, yes, continue, exit. Or you can set up a lab practical. I have no idea what the difference between the quizzes and the lab practicals are up here, but it's just, again, another opportunity to interact with the material and get some practice answering questions about it. So that's Practice Anatomy Lab, which I want you to be aware of. Again, anatomical models and histology will come in handy. Then I also want you to be aware of this stuff here. I will say the MP3 tutor sessions, it's just audio files. I don't think very many people will appreciate that. A&P Flicks, Interactive Physiology, and Video Tutors are basically 3 different places you can find videos to help you review stuff. I don't know why they don't just put it all in under one title, but they've got them spread all over the place. I think they're just adding crap. They keep adding crap to the website and not organizing it very well. Under A&P Flicks, if you go over here and click on A&P, there's all of these videos, some of which I will use in class and some of which I will just refer to if I'm remembering and say, remember there's a video that you can use to review this. So these are all short, somewhere between 2 and 6 minutes, describing different concepts that we're going to go over mostly this semester. The video tutors, very much the same thing. These are all brief videos that review concepts that we're going to go over in class. And then there's Interactive Physiology. This is probably the most extensive list of animations and videos that go over concepts from the class. It used to be more interactive, hence the term Interactive Physiology. It is now more or less just more videos as opposed to an interactive slideshow. So anywhere it says IP animation, that's just going to be, I can click on one for you, a simple animation that you watch and they explain things as it goes through the animation. So it's not bad, but it's not interactive. Oh, what did I do? Let me see if I can get back to there's the study area. So anywhere it says animation, it's just another video. There are a couple of places like here and here where it's what interactive physiology used to look like a couple years ago. And it's a kind of a slideshow that you click through with some animations and some text that you read. So I'm just going to skip ahead to, let's just see what happens when we go here. So again, it's part animation. So that part is just video. And down here, you can click ahead to things. And this part is a little bit interactive. So in this activity, they have you use the voltmeter, this thing right here, and you poke it into and out of the cell. And you actually interact with it a little bit. So insert the voltmeter's electrode into, this one here, into the cell. So there's a little bit of interaction with it. It's not like super duper interactive, but it's a little bit more than just watching a video. I think that's everything I wanted to call your attention to. There is some other stuff down here I can just show you real quick. You can take your time going over this stuff here, where it's origins, insertions, actions, and innervations, and the muscle groups. It's just short little videos, one for each muscle or each muscle group, that reviews how the muscles work if you want to do that. They go into a lot more detail than we will in lab, but if you want help reviewing that, if you want to hear how muscles work repeatedly, you can go through here and there for that. And then if you want a video review of the different bones, or you want to see what the sheep brain dissection is going to look like before we do the sheep brain dissection, there are videos here that you can use. They will go into, again, more detail than we're going to do in lab, but you should know that they're there. That's, I think, everything I wanted to show you. Thanks for sticking around this long. And do just play around with all this stuff because you paid for it, so you should see what's available and try and figure out what's going to help you succeed in the class.